breathers,
and welcome back to yet
another
episode of All My Favorite People Are Dead. I'm Sue Teresi.
I'm Shannon Butler.
I'm Sue Teresi, that voice that you hear in your head with Shannon Butler's voice if you're wearing earbuds. And the voices that you hear in your head, and not just the crazy people telling you to kill the neighbors, but us telling you about other dead people.
That's right.
If you're wearing earbuds. If not, and you're playing this at your office, which
or
you
in your
should
car.
be, or in your car, we're
on
still
your way
the
to
voices
work.
in your head.
Yeah, that's right.
So when people say, did you hear that voice in my head? You can say it's Sue and Shannon.
Sue and Shannon said something.
All our favorite people are dead. Yeah,
people.
and other silly things.
So we got a special co-host today. We have two co-hosts.
Oh boy.
We have our regular co-host,
Mambo.
And then we have an extra addition to the...
We have my grand dog.
Granddog!
Who thinks he's a cat, Java.
Java.
Java's sitting here with us. You can see pictures of our pets on our Facebook page.
Yeah, and we'll have...
Shannon and I, we won't put up pictures of us because you'll have to meet us live somewhere where we're doing a speaking and see. But we're going to post all our favorite animals.
Java.
Java's sitting here, such a good boy.
I love Java so much. My dogs are going to be so jealous when I get home.
They're going to smell you when you get home?
Franklin, Miss Daisy, and Mocha are going to go, what?
What were you?
The fuck, Mom?
Well, when you leave here, do they smell you and you say, I kissed a cat and I liked it? You cheated on them with Mambo and Lila.
They don't seem to be so concerned about the cats.
Oh, well, let's see what happens when they smell Java.
Mambo, Java, they might raise a fuss.
My cats are so used to the dog.
Yeah.
That he's just like that ugly duckling syndrome. Like he looks at the cats and he goes, I must meow. And they're all so good. They're all rescue.
Well, he looks like a bat.
He's got big ears.
He's got gigantic ears.
He's got gigantic ears.
He can pick up Radio Moscow with those ears.
He gets Hulu and he gets Disney Plus. He gets all these things on his ears, so we don't pay for streaming because he's connected and
he is.
He's just they're all pleasures in our life. So adopt, don't shop. Rescue a four-legged friend who might need you.
My babies.
That is the message that we're giving. And Shannon was honored this weekend for being fabulous.
Oh, well, I mean, you were honored, too, for being fabulous.
Thank you. Shannon and I are fabulous. I was honored. They honor the teachers at my school. And it's always nice to have recognition with your colleagues. Yeah. And Shannon was honored for our library getting a grant.
Not a grant. We won the Helen Wilkinson Reynolds Award for Local History.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which was...
So it's not a grant. It's an award.
It's an award. Yeah. We actually... the Dutchess County Historical Society has these awards ceremony. It's part like charity, part like let's honor people for doing historic stuff.
Well, you did something good to get a...
Yeah. So the local history room at my library, which is me and my colleagues Kira and Bill, who was a guest on our show. We all got honored with this lovely award. And it's funny for all three of us because we're like, Helen Wilkinson Reynolds is the patron saint of local history.
Oh, wow.
So we're all like, yeah.
There you go. Well, she would be proud.
So yeah, we're very proud. Definitely proud to get the award. So
good.
It was nice.
So you and I are rocking in the free world because we do good stuff.
We do good stuff. Absolutely, we do. Yeah.
And hopefully people are learning from this. Learn and laugh.
That's right. And we're going to learn from you today.
So today, I'm going to discuss Emily Warren Roebling, the woman behind the man who built the Brooklyn Bridge.
Can I make a confession?
Oh, okay. Even though I'm not a priest, you can confess to me. Even though I'm not a rabbi.
Don't hate me.
I could never hate you.
Okay, good.
Uh-oh.
I've never seen the Brooklyn Bridge in person.
Okay.
Never.
Okay. I will bring a picture.
No, I've seen pictures.
Okay.
I've seen...
So we'll go for... but that's something I can remedy.
Yeah,
we'll go for a ride.
For someone who has easy access to New York City, just hop on the train in Poughkeepsie and go. I've been to New York City like maybe in my entire life 5 times.
See, I hear that a lot from... I refer to myself as being upstate. This is not upstate. When you talk to somebody from Erie or Buffalo, they say this is downstate.
Yeah.
But when you're from the boroughs, this is upstate.
Yeah.
And every like third or fourth person that I meet from, the Hudson Valley area says I've never been into the city, or I go once, or I went to the Statue of Liberty on a class trip. And I don't get it because to me, you're a train ride away to Broadway.
Yeah.
or to anything.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this, is that I'm centrally, located.
And pretty much all the times that I've been down there is like a straight shoot to the Met.
Okay.
It's like,
So
I
we can
walked
run
around
it.
Central Park a little bit.
But nobody ever goes to Brooklyn.
No.
Why would anybody go to Brooklyn?
I don't know. There's got to be something cool in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, my family.
Well, okay.
Yeah. Java lives
Java's
in Brooklyn. That's all you need.
That is reason enough to go.
Brooklyn now is beautiful. And the Brooklyn Bridge is beautiful.
I just know, the Sex in the City when one of the girls was like, I'm not moving to Brooklyn. And the next thing they were moving, she's like, no, we don't go to Brooklyn.
That's so funny.
We don't do that.
Yeah.
We stay in Manhattan.
It got a bad rap.
But then she goes to Brooklyn and she's like, oh, it's not that bad. And it's cheaper.
Well, that's true. And look, New York City, Manhattan is New York City. Let's call it what it is. There's Paris, there's London. It is a major, world... I don't want to say world capital, but it's what it's known for.
Yeah.
And it is. It's everything it lives up to, except when you have to live there.
Right.
It's a nice place to travel. I wouldn't want to live there. I love the city. I like to go, and then I like to come home. And same with Brooklyn. I've lived in Brooklyn. I worked in Brooklyn. I love Brooklyn. I just, I'm at a different stage in my life. But I see the appeal.
Sure.
The bridge itself is
beautiful.
A landmark. Yeah. But it wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Emily.
Okay, let's learn about Emily.
So
I'm excited.
She was fabulous. Emily was born September 23rd, 1843, to Sylvanus and Phoebe Warren at Cold Spring, New York.
Oh, okay.
Which is not
far.
Right.
Yeah, I love Cold Spring.
Right. Cold Spring's beautiful.
Yeah.
She was the second youngest of 12 children. She attended school at the Georgetown Visitation Academy in D.C., now known as the Georgetown Visitation Preparatory School. Oh. And she was getting an education at a time when many women didn't.
Right.
You didn't educate women, especially like that, at that time.
Yeah, that's right.
Her brother became a general during the Civil War, where she met his aide, Washington Roebling. Mm-hmm. Met him, felt love, married him.
All right. Lovely.
Okay. Yep. On January 18th, 1865, Emily and Washington Roebling got married in Cold Spring in a dual wedding with another one of her Warren siblings and their spouse.
Okay.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's nice.
Mom saves money, two kids.
Two
bang,
for the
bang.
price of one. Nice.
Bang, bang.
All right. 2 honeymoons?
You at home. Can't share that much. So now, while John Roebling, Washington's father, was starting his preliminary work on the Brooklyn Bridge, the newlyweds now went to Europe to study the use of caissons.
Oh.
Which are caissons, so over hill, over dale, da da da, when the caissons go rolling. Apparently you never heard that because she's living away. It is a song from, I can't remember. But it is. It's a caisson song. I think it's a military song.
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess I've never paid attention to the lyrics.
When the caisson... Okay. So caissons, thank you for asking.
Yes.
Were large watertight chambers.
Right. Yeah, I've heard of that, yeah.
I had no idea what they were.
You put them in the bottom of the river
They're open at the bottom, by which the water was kept out by air pressure, and they're used for underwater construction.
Yes.
So they're big underwater caissons. Okay.
That's heavy stuff.
And they're used primarily for constructing bridges.
And you've got to be like a real engineer to understand that shit.
I can't even spell caisson, so don't ask me. Okay, I spell croissant instead, so don't look at me. All right? So in November of 1867, Emily gave birth in Germany to the couple's only child, John A. Roebling II.
Okay.
They returned home from their European studies. Washington's father, John, died in 1869. He had an accident at the bridge site, resulting in tetanus.
Ooh.
Yeah, before a tetanus shot, you can die from that crap.
Sure you can.
And he did.
Oh.
So when you get your tetanus shot every 10 years, that's why.
Do it.
So now Washington Roebling is assigned as chief engineer of the Brooklyn Bridge's construction in the death and absence of his dad. Okay. He immerses himself in the project. He develops what they would call then decompression sickness, which which is known as Caisson's disease,
right?
Better known as the bends.
Because he went down too
depths,
quickly.
Right. Now we call it the bends, right?
Ooh.
You go into underwater depths to study placement of caissons, but you don't rise at the proper speed.
Right.
You get the bends, and it has to do with compression, and it's pretty serious.
Oh, and that fucks you up.
It affected him so severely he became bedridden.
Oh, no.
Okay, so now the father is dead from tetanus. He's got the bends. He's in bed. So
the Brooklyn Bridge took a lot of lives, didn't it?
Back then, yeah. Sure it did. So Emily is not only tending to the house, taking care of the kid. Mm-hmm. She's taking care of Washington while he's got the bends. She's keeping records and meets with manufacturers for the bridge's construction.
Okay.
She goes to the bridge site. She monitors the construction. She knew about engineering. She wasn't stupid. She knew the project so well that many of them thought she was the chief engineer herself.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for
Where's
her.
the chief engineer? Ask her. Yeah, she really had it going on.
Was she studying alongside of her husband
She
a
had
little bit?
studied stuff when she went to school. I think it was engineering. She had a good head on her shoulders for facts and figures.
Oh,
he
good.
never returns to the bridge site.
Oh, dear.
He's so, and now at this point, not only is he so disabled from it, he doesn't have to.
Okay.
So she's on board.
Wow.
She's overseeing, this is her gig, right?
Okay.
In all, after several thousand people took part over 14 years for the bridge, right? That's how long it took. They worked 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. Mm-hmm. They were all men.
Yeah, sure.
Except for Emily.
Wow.
Doing the same stuff.
Wow.
So now Brooklyn finally gets to meet Manhattan.
Yeah.
Emily was the very first person to cross the bridge.
Oh, wow, really?
She did so by carriage.
Good for her.
Right? It's the least they could do.
Yeah.
After the bridge was built, Emily, well, what am I going to do now?
Yeah,
I don't
really,
know.
yeah.
I think I'll go to Russia and England, and I'll help soldiers who are now returning from the Spanish-American War.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just that.
I just think I'll, because I got time on my hands.
How is she helping them? What is she doing?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know if she was nursing them or helping them get back on their feet or baking them cookies or giving them Band-Aids and lollipops. But she did stuff to help veterans returning from the war.
Okay.
Okay, whatever that consisted of.
Right, because they've got PTSD, which is not a thing at the time. They didn't realize it. Right.
Yeah. So she's helping out in any way she can.
Okay.
And then she gets involved in promoting women's rights. She is like the original suffragette.
Yeah.
She's promoting that.
Okay.
She travels widely, and in 1896, she's presented to Queen Victoria of the United Kingdom.
Whoa.
And then she was in St. Petersburg in the Russian Empire for the coronation of Tsar Nicholas II.
She's getting around.
Yeah. Oh, wait, it gets better.
Okay.
This is a woman of many different talents and many different righteous fields.
I had no idea.
Who would?
And for the 19th century, that's
in the
impressive.
1890s. Now we're up to the 1890s?
Yeah.
How many women were getting involved into law? Not men. Yeah.
No,
Okay. Yeah. Let us laugh.
Not many. No.
In 1899, she was 56.
Oh, wow.
She graduates from NYU's law school.
Get the fuck out.
Seriously? 56 years old, number one.
Whoa.
NYU Law School, 1899.
Whoa.
Yeah, go girl.
Get it, girl.
You go girl.
Yeah.
Her final essay focused on equal rights for women.
Okay.
And people like, Emily, you can't go into law. It's not ladylike, quote unquote, for
Right.
a woman to, quote unquote, argue.
Right.
Ladies don't do that. She says, yeah, it was indeed ladylike to have dreams and to work hard. Yes, law is very ladylike. Up yours.
Whoa.
Well, she might not have said up yours.
Yeah, you're
would,
paraphrasing.
but I'm gonna pretend.
I gotcha. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, this is. I mean, a woman. Well, now that the bridge is done, I think I'll help veterans. I'll help women's rights. Oh, I'm gonna go to law school.
I'll be a lawyer. What the fuck?
I'm gonna be a lawyer now. Okay, I'm gonna be a lawyer.
God.
So yep. So she wrote this essay, "A Wife's Disabilities," in 1899. Published in the Albany Law Journal, which won wide acclaim and awards. Oh. And in it, she argues for greater women's rights and rallied against discriminatory practices targeted at women.
Wow.
Now, I can only imagine, I mean, if she wasn't who she was and they didn't know she was, the husband or whatever, I mean, the wife, of him, being a woman in an all-male dominated field. I mean, these are engineers, these are builders, these are scaffolders, and Emily.
So where's her husband in all of this?
Bedridden.
Still?
Never made it back to the site. He was out of commission. He's done.
Okay.
He had the bend so badly. He was he had disability.
He never recovers.
Never fully recovered. Would have gone out, I guess, on workman's comp at this point. Okay. Never fully recovered.
And he's totally cool with her being a lawyer and doing all this stuff.
Yeah, he was very supportive with her.
Wow.
He was supportive. He was very supportive with her. I think relieved initially.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for her, who would have done this? Mm-hmm. Or how would it have gotten done? Who would have overseen? Apparently, he didn't have anybody else in charge. She's like, I got this. You stay home. Here's a lollipop. I'm going to do this.
You raise the son while I go.
Yeah, you stay home with Junior. I'm going to go build a bridge.
Okay.
So, a fascinating woman. Fascinating.
Okay.
So she's arguing for greater women's rights against discriminatory practices specifically targeted at women. She signs the essay with her husband's initials. W-A-R. Yeah, that's what she signs it with.
Maybe to help it get published?
I think so. I think so. Because I don't know what a woman was able to do at that time.
Yeah,
I know women in the 60s and 70s who would tell me now, I couldn't get a credit card in my own name.
Right, yep.
Imagine doing this.
Yeah.
Until her death on February 28th, 1903, Emily spent her remaining time with her family, but was always socially and mentally active. Always doing something good and positive.
Okay.
You go, Emily.
Yeah, go, Emily. Yeah.
Congressman Abraham S. Hewitt is quoted as saying at the dedication ceremony for the bridge in 1883, the name of Mrs. Emily Warren Roebling will thus be inseparably associated with all that is admirable in human nature and with all that is wonderful in the construction of art, and an everlasting monument to the sacrificing devotion of a woman and her capacity for higher education from which she has been too long disbarred. Finally, today the Brooklyn Bridge is marked with a plaque dedicated to the memory of Emily, her husband Washington, and her father-in-law John Roebling.
Wow.
Yeah. In the 2018 New York Times they published a belated obituary for her. Part of a series of obituaries they were doing for women and minorities whose achievements were overlooked at the time of their deaths.
I've read some of those. Yeah, they're very good.
Yep. And she died February 28th, 1903. What a hell of a girl.
Yeah. Do we know where she's buried?
No.
Oh.
Not offhand.
I'm curious. I want to look that up.
You look it up.
All right.
Because I have 6 amazing facts about the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yes, let's hear it.
Okay, number 1.
Okay.
It was the first ever steel wire suspension bridge ever constructed.
Okay.
John Roebling claimed that steel was the metal of the future.
Okay.
Correct. Number 2. New York threw a huge party to celebrate the opening of the bridge on May 24th, 1883. President Chester A. Arthur, Governor Grover Cleveland, and many other dignitaries attended with Emily. Bands played, there were fireworks, and at the stroke of midnight, the bridge opened, and more than 150,000 people went across the bridge in the first 24-hour period.
150,000?
Yes.
Whew.
Couldn't wait.
I guess not.
Couldn't wait. Couldn't wait to either get away from Brooklyn or go to Manhattan or vice versa. Number 3. You're going to love this. A week after the official opening, there was a rumor the bridge is going to collapse.
Oh, shit.
That inspired panic. And people rushed to get off the bridge. 12 people died, 36 were injured. It was one of those mad rushes to get off the bridge.
But it's still standing.
But wait, there's more.
Okay.
Number 4. To convince people that it was safe after the disaster, P.T. Barnum was hired. Why P.T. Barnum?
Why?
Well, in the May of 1884, Barnum had 21 elephants march across the bridge. See?
Whoa. Yeah.
If it can hold the 21 elephants, it can hold you. Get back on the bridge.
Okay.
It was a publicity stunt.
Yeah, it was.
5. The bridge towers rose higher than any other structure in New York City at that time. They are considered New York City's first skyscrapers.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sure.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Today, number 6, the bridge stands more than 135 years old. Thousands of people cross from Brooklyn to Manhattan every day. The bridge was extremely instrumental on 9/11 when people were evacuating Manhattan. I mean, I remember, hearing and seeing people just getting right over that bridge into safety, away from the tower zone, away from Ground Zero.
That's terrifying. Yeah,
I know. Brooklyn Bridge, beautiful. We will now we have homework. I have to take you for a ride. We'll go for a ride.
Yeah. Okay. So she's buried in Cold Spring Cemetery.
Cold Spring. That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Cool.
I wasn't positive. I couldn't remember. I didn't write it down.
She wasn't very old. She's only 59.
For back then, considering she went to law school at 56, started almost 60.
Well, her husband lasted longer than she did. He outlived her. He was sickly.
But he was bedridden. He was not mobile. Yeah. He was ill.
Yeah, poor guy.
Isn't that the case? Yeah. Isn't that the bends? To die of all things, of the bends, and not to die, but to get sick of all things that we take for granted. Tetanus.
Yeah.
My doctor's like, you need a tetanus shot every 10 years. You don't want to step on a rusty nail, whatever. And they died from that.
Yeah.
So he was out. The husband was out. Emily's like, here I come to save the bridge.
That's really cool. You know what? I had heard something along the lines of this, but I didn't know the full story.
I didn't either. I didn't know the full depth of her, the woman behind the man who built the bridge.
Yeah. Oh, isn't she lovely? I'm looking at a little painting of her.
Yeah, for people who want, our podcast is not the entire biography. If this provokes you to studying further about the people we discussed, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bring it up, Google them, or whatever you do to get more information, see what they look like. We're hoping this gets you interested in history.
Yeah. Well, now I've always wanted to see the Brooklyn Bridge.
It's easy for you to
Easy for me to say. I've always wanted to see the Brooklyn Bridge, but I
have a picture in the other room. I'll show you when we're done. Of, me and my daughter in front of the bridge.
Yeah.
But you need to, actually, we should go across.
I know, right? You
just
can
go
walk
take a walk.
Across it.
Yeah, walk across.
I love that.
Walk across.
The
fact you can drive across.
It's so old, and it's still holding up on all this traffic and all
elephants and all.
Yeah,
elephants and trucks and Hummers and
it really is a symbol of
New York, and it really is, and the Brooklyn Bridge. I mean, it is what it is. I have a bridge to sell you.
Right.
The Brooklyn Bridge.
It's a piece of culture, really.
It is,
yeah.
It's artsy, and it's one of those older. I like the new ones, like the new Tappan Zee and.
Do you like the new Tappan Zee?
I do. It looks like
I'm sorry, the Mario Cuomo
whatever
bridge,
it's called, whatever that bridge is, and I can't pronounce this one either. Is it Kosciuszko? That's the other bridge in there.
Yeah.
It's the same structure, but I like the lights. I just think they're very pretty and very industrial and very modern, and I do like that. But I also like it juxtaposed with the old world style of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah.
I like them both in two different ways. It's like, modern and, it's like, comparing, modern art to, classics.
No,
something
I get it.
different. And I like the combinations around the city.
Yeah.
So it's, a Picasso is not a Rembrandt, but you can have an appreciation for both.
Sure.
And that's what New York is.
Yeah, you do have a combination of both going on.
Even in its architecture. So, and Brooklyn is a revitalized borough.
Okay.
Apparently that's where I learned to speak. And as you can tell.
That's okay.
I used to get, you sound like the nanny. And now I get, you sound like Fauci. Well, because he's from my old neighborhood.
There you go.
So, yes, you have a New York accent. And the last I checked, I was still in New York. But yes, I learned to speak in Brooklyn. That's where I learned how to walk my dog.
Walk.
Yeah.
Coffee.
And I make coffee. So that's Emily Roebling for you, breathers.
Did she speak she's from Cold Spring, so she probably didn't speak like a Brooklyner.
I don't think anybody back then, I don't know if this is a modern Brooklyn accent. I mean, everybody I know speaks.
That's a good question.
So when I asked my family, my daughter moved back to Brooklyn, I said, that's where I learned how to speak. Do people in Brooklyn sound like me? She goes, no, because all the originals left.
Right, they're all up here.
And everybody that lives in Brooklyn now has not been born there. It's a totally different element, and it's way different. So I don't think anybody in Brooklyn now walks the door.
Are you saying that someday your accent is going to be gone entirely?
We could only hope. I don't know. I don't know. And then I like when actors try to do my accent.
Sure, yeah.
Where you from? Tidy-tied. No. Nobody in Brooklyn says tidy-tied. Okay, that's how actors pretend that they're from Brooklyn. There's no tidy-tied street. Please don't. Or lately I've had people want me to say forget about you. Forget about it. Really? Nobody says that, at least not to my face.
I'm walking here.
That I do say.
That you do say.
Actually, yeah, because I'm like, I'm walking here. What the hell's wrong with you? It's red. Actually, that one you got me on.
Okay.
But forget about it. I don't know.
That's okay. It's all good. Well, I learned something new today.
Awesome. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
And that is our story.
I like it.
Good, right? Good stuff.
Well, next time I'm in Cold Spring, I'll have to stop by the cemetery and visit her headstone.
Okay, we could do that. We could go there on a picnic.
I love Cold Spring. I'm always happy to go to Cold Spring.
So let's go to Cold Spring on a picnic and then go to Brooklyn.
Okay.
Go for a ride.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, we should do that.
I don't drive down to... I take the train down there.
No, we'll drive. How are you going to get over the bridge? Well, we'll drive over the bridge. Well, you're going to take the train to walk?
Is it?
To
I don't know. How does that work?
No, we're going to drive.
Oh, shit.
We can park the car.
You're going to park the car?
We're going to park the car like the Kennedy. No, that's Boston.
No, that's Boston.
That's Boston. We're going to park the car at Harvard Yard. No, we can park the car and then walk over the bridge.
Yeah.
We can park in Brooklyn and walk over to the city.
I'm terrified to park in any part of that area.
We'll take my car. No one wants it. Your car's cute. Mine is like old. Mine's like me. It's old and not going anywhere.
Java, are we going to come and visit you when you're home?
Oh, yeah. We'll take you. You want to walk over the bridge?
Java, we're going to take you with us.
You want to go? Come to Grandma.
Java. Well, Java, what do you think? We're going to end the show?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm going to go back to Brooklyn.
You want to go back to Brooklyn?
Yeah, forget about it. Going back to Brooklyn. Hey, forget about it.
All right. Well, on that note.
That was another fun episode of All My Favorite People Are Dead. See ya, breathers.
Bye.